Hitting third and playing right field, number 21, Sammy Sosa.
Everything that I've done in my career, which has been just so fun for me, is all a result of a God-given gift to my voice. As a speaker, as a singer, as a broadcaster, the interesting thing about gifts is as easily as they are given, they can be taken away. And it was completely stolen from me one night. A couple kids were out on a Friday night out to do stick-ups, and I'm walking back to my car, and I get to my car, sit down, bang on the window, flinch, and I hear a sound of a gunshot going off, point blank, right next to my head. Shatters the window, 9mm, shot point blank, in the neck. Bullet goes through my neck, lodges in the muscle on the right side. And I'm in shock all of a sudden, and you realize, wow, no previous experience required to tell you you've been shot. I hit the gas, took off, went back a block and a half to where I had just walked from, got out of the car, and went and sat down, waited for the ambulance, waited for the police to arrive, and ultimately scared to death. And a couple things go through your mind. One, dying is not an option, is one thing I told myself, believing in absolutely the sanctity and the preciousness of human life, mine. And secondly, I thought what I do for a living may have just come to an abrupt end, but who I am was absolutely not going to change. I went through a process of long recovery, lots of doubt. Almost assuredly, I knew that my voice was not going to come back. The process of recovery was long, it was painful, I was filled with doubt, I was filled with anger, I was filled with the point of hate, wanting revenge, and all of those things. I also realized that all of the anger and all of the seeking justice wasn't mine to dole out. I finally had to come to that realization, and once I did, I also took it one step further, realizing that the only antidote for revenge is forgiveness. And it took me a long time to process all of that and to come to the point where one day I got into a car, drove down to the prison where one of these young men was, and unannounced went in and sat for a rather dynamic 2.5 hours as we looked eye to eye. I took the risk of getting in the car and going there. I had a lot of doubts. What am I doing? And I waited for 45 minutes for this young man to come down. And this entire time, I'm almost sick to my stomach, thinking, well, what am I doing? Is this a mistake? Am I wrong? What is my motive here? And it wasn't like you see on TV. You're not talking on a telephone through some bulletproof glass. I sat in a cafeteria, face to face, at a table. I say, do you know who I am? And his face just lit up, and he said, I can't believe you've come to see me. I can't believe you've come to see me. And I took his hand and just never unlocked our eye contact and held onto his hand, and we sat down, and I just said, I'm here to see how you're doing. I was told it'd be 1.5 years at least before I would know what my speaking voice would sound like for the rest of my life. 6 months and 5 days after being shot, point blank, in the throat with a 9mm, I walked back out in front of 17,000 people and grabbed my wife Kathleen's hand and just hung on for dear life and sang the national anthem, and then just have been singing ever since.